This is a paid product review for Totally-Tiffany. For more information about Totally-Tiffany and their awesome products, visit Totally-Tiffany.com. I am back to do a product review for the Totally-Tiffany Desk Maid 4-piece set. Now, I have seen some Totally-Tiffany products in Hobby Lobby. I've also seen the products featured on HSN or Home Shopping Network. And recently, Totally-Tiffany reached out to me and asked if I would do a review of this Desk Maid set. So when I got it, I was really excited because I'm always looking for organizational pieces for my scrap space. I'm going to show you the 4 pieces, which include a tool tower, a stadium arranger, a pencil perch, and a pen and ink palace. And these 4 pieces come together as a set. They currently retail for $57.96 and you can get it on sale for $49.99. So I'll have some more details about that towards the end. So let me go ahead and show you each piece individually. Alright, so the first one is called a Stadium Arranger, and I just want to note that all of these pieces that come in this set are made from solid wood and they're painted white, a nice clean bright white. And I actually, when I was playing with this earlier, got a little bit of ink on mine from one of my ink pads. I was just able to wipe it up with a paper towel and some water and it came out really nice. So very nice, very sleek. So you have these 3 tiers, which makes it easy to load your products as well as see your products. And each tier is very hollow, so it provides some level of stability so that your products stay in the caddy. And then at the bottom, you have these little foam circles here that prevent any scratching on your work surface. Next up is the pencil perch, and this measures 4.5 by 6.5 by 6.5, and it has these 3 tiers with these little circle cuts in here that you literally can put your pencils in. So if you like to use color pencils, or if you have some small thin pens that you want to organize, you can load them up here, and of course then they're easily accessible and you can see all the colors that you have. So again, solid wood construction, you have the foam circles here that prevent scratching on your work surface, and it's small enough of course to sit nicely on your desk. So this next piece is probably one of my favorite out of the 4-piece set, and this is called their pen and ink palace. It measures 9 by 7 by 7. So again, wood construction, painted white, has the little foam circles here that prevent scratching. So the cool thing about this is that you can organize your pens so they lay flat as they're supposed to. I don't organize my pens that way. I don't lay them flat. I probably should so they last longer. Then also you can load your ink pads, and those fit very nicely here in the little shelves, or you can stick some here on top or some other materials here on top. There's a nice hollow spot here on this piece. Now these tiered shelves do come out. There's a little slot here, a little circle slot, where you can put your finger in and pull out these little shelves. And then of course there's a stopper here in the back that will prevent any of your ink pads or your pens from falling to the back of this piece. Now I also found as I was playing around with this, if I wanted to, I could take a couple of these shelves out if I want to perhaps load it with an item that's a bit taller than say an ink pad or pens. So this is a very, very versatile piece. Again, this fits very nicely on your desk and doesn't take up too much space. Okay, and lastly is the tool tower, and this measures 9 by 5 by 5.5. You have 8 slots to load your tools, and it is tiered, so it makes it easy for you to see your tools. Again, nice wood construction, painted this nice sleek bright white, has the foam circles at the bottom to prevent scraping your work surfaces. So you have plenty of room to fit in a lot of your different tools. Small enough to fit on your desktop, won't obstruct anything. Easy for you to grab and see what you have due to the tiered design. So now is the fun part. I'm going to show you how I am using these organizational pieces in my scrap space. 4-piece set, I ended up using the Stadium Arranger. And so I have my ink pads loaded. Now, this is probably not the proper way to load your ink pads, but this works for me because I can see them. I have all my adhesives here, and then I have some stamping materials and my daubers here. So that works well. These are all items that I use pretty much every time that I do a scrapbook page. I also decided to use the pen and ink palettes, and so I needed a spot to store my glitter. They were originally in a drawer and I would forget about them. And so I have a spot to store my Wow glitters, and I have these small little glitter containers. I also took out some of the shelves because I wanted to be able to house some of my little taller ink pads. Are small, but they're taller than just a standard ink pad. And then as well as my dewdrops. And I have these stacked here so I can easily pull them out and they're accessible. And then here at the bottom, I have some other ink pads that now that they're on my desk, I'm going to use more often. So this will work for me for sure. It's all there, it's all present, and I know that I'll get some usage out of those products. Now, the 2 pieces that I haven't used yet, because I'm still trying to decide how I want to use them, is the tool tower, which more than likely I'm going to use for my mixed media tools. So the jury's still out on that, but I'm definitely going to use it. I just need to find where I'm going to place it in my craft space. And then this pencil perch. Now, I just purchased some watercolor pencils, and I'm hoping that they're thin enough that they fit in those little holes there. So those will be coming sometime next week, and I will more than likely fill that with those pencils. So overall, I'm pretty impressed with these. This is the first time that I've ever used Totally-Tiffany products, and I'm liking this a lot. I like how this is tiered so I can see everything and I can easily reach for it. And I like how I was able to customize this piece here. I've got all my glitters up here and all my ink pads and my smaller ink pads and such. These are things that I hadn't been using regularly. Now it's on my desk. I have it nice and organized so I know that I'm going to use it. And then eventually I will get these guys set up and start using them as well. While I like these organizational pieces overall, I did notice just some small things. So as I mentioned earlier, these are made out of wood and they're painted a bright white, which I like. But I did notice some variations in the paint finish. So for example, there's some paint, as the paint dried, it kind of dripped. So it looks like there was some excess paint there. So I noticed it in this piece. This doesn't bother me overall because of course I'm not going to see it all the time and neither is anybody else. But I did notice some variation in some of the paint finishes. Otherwise, this particular piece is very sturdy in construction. And then I noticed that there was just some slight chipping from the paint right here that wasn't finished completely. It looks like, I don't know if it chipped or if it just wasn't finished completely. But again, the construction of the piece is fine, so I can live with that. That's not a problem. So that's the only thing that I noticed. And then of course, when you open the box, there is a very apparent paint smell as well. So that takes a minute to die down. So if you purchase this product, just know that you'll smell a little bit of that paint finish when you open the box. So overall, that's all I noticed was the variations in the paint finishes. Otherwise, very sturdy, very well constructed organizational pieces will look great in any craft room. And of course, you can customize it for your individual purposes. I think I'm going to get a lot of use out of these 4 pieces. For more information about Totally-Tiffany and their awesome products, visit Totally-Tiffany.com. And starting on September 27th, Totally-Tiffany will be hosting a Get Organized Challenge class. Links for this class and other information are posted in the description box below. Thanks so much for watching.